everybody. Welcome to Millennial Stoner. My name is Joe Winchell. I am the Millennial Stoner. A little bit of business before we get started with today's guest. I just like to start every day. Thanks for watching. We get views. Alex Bradley episode did great, and everybody's been clamoring for Billy Guyer again, and he will be back. So don't you guys worry about it. But we're not talking about the past. We're talking about the future. We're talking about the now. And my guest today on this rainy day is Steve Rocco Parrillo.
I was only came here because it's raining.
The best part about it is when you got here, I was walking out and you were like standing there with your hood up, like with your fucking trench coat blowing in the wind. And I was
literally, I'm like Eeyore under a rain
like,
cloud.
I expected you to turn in like a fucking lightning bolt to be like,
Why did the car stop? It's frightened.
All right, 5 seconds into this, you're gonna start talking about Clue.
We already have a Clue reference. Hilarious.
I do love that movie.
Mhm.
That's actually one of those. That's like as a theater person, because when I was like went to college and everything, we talked about that a lot.
Mhm.
So when I hear anybody that knows that movie and likes it, I
Yeah.
flock to them like
Yeah,
fucking
it's great.
like a fat kid to a cupcake.
It's arguably Tim Curry's best movie.
We were talking about this at the weed show.
Yeah.
It's like it's all Tim Curry. The whole movie is
it's
just
Tim
like
Curry
him.
The movie.
I think he's the only one that speaks in the last 20 minutes of the movie.
Yeah, as it should be.
As he reenacts the whole movie for
Yeah.
everybody.
Exactly. It's great. Tim Curry's birthday just passed on the
It
19th.
did. It did
It
pass.
did.
I always look at he's all stroked out now.
It's the sound. What's his name? The sound guy.
Oh, it's Chris.
Chris, is he laughing back there?
Yeah, you can hear him. That's how you know you're doing.
The Tim Curry Power Hour.
We love to. Those get so much views based on Tim Curry. Yeah, he's all stroked out.
Mm-hmm.
Like no, it sucks because like he still does like meet and greets and shit. Like respect to him.
Yeah.
But he's like not that guy anymore. That he's in like a
not.
wheelchair and it's like half his face is paralyzed. Like he still does the fucking meet and greets and everything.
You know what? In the new It movies, he should have been the guy who owned the pharmacy's father. Can I have a cigar?
Have a cigar, please.
I always favored licorice. He should have been that guy.
Did you know that Tim Curry was actually the original voice, the original casting of the Joker in the animated series?
I did know that. Imagine a world where
it works in your head. It works.
Yeah, Tim Curry was the Joker in the original Batman animated series. That would have been amazing.
It would have been so different. Not that, like, I love that series,
Mhm.
but like, it would have been different.
It would have been a completely different world.
They said it was too dark. It was too scary.
Really?
That's what they said.
That's amazing. Like, wasn't also that was something about another movie. Han Solo wasn't the original pick for.
It was Tom Selleck. Magnum PI. I'm telling you. No, wait. It was
No.
Harrison Ford was not the original pick for Indiana
that's what I meant.
Jones.
Yeah. Who was it gonna be?
It was going to be Tom Selleck.
Oh, it was.
There's footage of you can go on like YouTube, I think, and look this shit up. There's test footage of him in the hat and everything, doing the scene with Marion fucking Ravenclaw, whatever her fucking name was.
Really?
Yeah, it was Tom Selleck. That was like a big to do. Like it was offered to him first.
That's crazy.
A lot of
And also,
go ahead. You
they
want to talk
were
movies? I'll talk
they were
movies all
weren't they
day.
gonna go with Christopher Walken as Han Solo originally.
That I always heard was like a rumor.
Yeah, that was a rumor. That's what
But
the Harrison Ford
it
thing.
would have made sense because he was like a young,
Yeah.
like that was the 70s. He was like he was a young hot fucking actor at the
Yeah.
time. He was like a dancer. Imagine fucking him as Han Solo.
now, like in the remakes and everything. That would've been fucking
It'll
crazy.
get you 0.5 past light speed. It's the worst Christopher Walken, but that's what it would be like. It would have just been like, right here, Jabba. Been waiting for you. Like, what the fuck? Like, even I. Like, he's got the worst.
You were talking about the deleted scene just now.
Don't just throw me names.
Wait.
I'm not just gonna get the fuck out of here, John
No.
Travolta. Leia. Oh my god.
I do not know.
I can only do that version of John Travolta as an impression of just him. It's from Grease when
Yeah,
he's
of
just
course,
like,
I
Oh,
like
Sand.
Grease. Grease was great.
I saw Grease when it was re-released in theaters.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, that's cool.
and it was like it was the coolest thing in the world for me. And I
Mhm.
remember like going into like people I didn't really people like grew up watching West Side Story. Like there's
Mhm.
people I grew up watching Grease. Like that was
Well, I had an older sister who watched it like 5 times a day, and like I just hear it. Yeah, she had a problem.
so my sister's obsessed with the soundtrack. That's what made me hate Grease eventually. It's like I
I
would-
don't mind it.
Well, yeah. No, I don't. No, I
The
like it
songs are
now.
catchy.
No, what I'm saying, I like it now, but at the time, and my sister, because my mom had the vinyl. Swear to God, the vinyl like record. So my sister was like a kid. She like discovered it, and then like all I would hear the ending song over and
Mm,
over and over again. Like what's that like like him and Olivia Newton
yeah.
John
We
dancing
go
on no
together. Oh,
the song they sing together, and they're in like they go through like the he's when she's all comes back all hot and fucking porn star looking.
oh, oh, you're the one that I want.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
You're the one that I want.
Over and over again. And I love my sister, but when she was a kid, she would destroy a song. Blues Brothers. Blues Brothers is one of my favorite fucking movies of all time.
Okay.
The soundtrack, she would only listen to the Ray Charles song
Oh, really?
and play Shake a Tail Feather on repeat to the point where I would get mad in the car when I'm like, no, we just listened to that song. We're not listening to it again. I would scream at my sister.
Hilarious.
And then now she's got a better high paying job than me. So
Uh,
it all worked out.
yeah. How do you feel now?
I feel low, man. I do. I don't feel good. She left this morning to
That
go
was
to
a recipe of success. Listening to that on a loop.
She left this morning to go to a gourmet pizza party in the city. I was like, someone's doing better than me.
Hilarious.
But yeah, no, I grew up watching all that shit. What the how did we sidetrack all the way to Greece?
We veer here.
Did we veer here? This is Clue. Clue was actually one of those movies I saw as a kid. When did you first see that movie?
Yeah, probably when I was like
It
15.
was like the WB afternoon movie for me. It would be on
No,
during the
because
day.
what happened? Me and my cousin just randomly got into Tim Curry out of nowhere,
Oh
and we
yeah,
just looked up Tim Curry movies.
you just got into him.
Yeah,
I could see. I mean, he's got a very
When did you first get into Tim Curry? It's like it's a drug.
Phantom, the Phantom. That was the first. It was the first time I remember seeing Tim. Like that's Tim Curry.
That was the Phantom.
The Phantom was a movie that was made a couple of years ago. It was based on an old comic strip called The Phantom about this dude who dressed in purple, who had two dual pistols. Did Chris? Correct me if I'm wrong. Did he have animal companions in the comic? All right. Thank you.
I like you have, like,
but
a
he had like it was like a jungle. Like, he was like in a jungle and everything. He was like a defender of like the jungle and like and then every once in a while we go like there was like a but the Phantom is a moniker that somebody is passed down from one person to the
Oh.
next. So there's always a Phantom, and the idea is that he's
And
invincible.
does Tim Curry become the
He
Phantom?
plays one of the bad guys in it.
Of course he does.
He plays one of the bad guys in it.
does.
Yeah. And then
He's always a
he's
bad
also
person.
he was also in The Shadow. No wait, maybe I'm thinking of The Shadow. I think I'm thinking of The Shadow. I don't know if he was in
I
The
don't know
Phantom.
that one either.
You know The Shadow? Fucking
Yeah,
Alec Baldwin's fake Batman movie?
Yeah, I don't know that one.
Oh man,
What is wrong with me?
Shadow came out. That was like remember how for years everybody said like um Alec Baldwin would have been a great Batman, like especially
Okay.
in like the '90s, like
Yeah.
the early '90s, the late '80s, early '90s, that Beetlejuice era.
Yeah, I was gonna say Beetlejuice.
Yeah, that's when they were like he would have, and he's got the voice for it and everything. He's got that
Mhm.
when he was younger, he had the pronounced chin. He wasn't as fat and alcoholic looking as he is now.
Mhm.
But like, uh, they made this movie. I always thought they made that movie to like, no, we don't need. He doesn't need Batman. We're gonna like. They thought like, no, there's gonna be like 8 Shadow movies after this. A movie based on an old fucking teleplay from years ago from the radio. That's what it was. They were taking the old radio show, The Shadow, and they made it into a movie.
Oh.
And it was
Sounds
like cool.
cool.
He had like the hat and everything, and like, and I remember like really liking that movie. And then I got older, and I'm like, this is just Batman Light.
I can't believe it's not Batman.
I can't believe it's not Batman. But yeah, it was The
Batman
Shadow.
Zero.
It was like The Shadow, and like there was those weird, like it was like these weird superhero movies that were not really owned by DC or Marvel
Okay.
that came out every once in a while. There was The Shadow was one of them because
Okay.
it was a superhero movie, and the other one was The Phantom. The Phantom was I don't know if Tim Curry was in that, but it is a wacky ass film.
All right.
It was The Shadow, right?
okay,
All right, I'm
so
confused. I knew I was.
I'll have to look into it. Was he like prominent character in
Yeah,
that
in
movie? Okay.
in The Shadow, he's
the-
like one of the
It's not older Tim Curry though.
no, it's younger Tim Curry.
It's young. It's younger Tim
It's not
Curry.
young, but it's like
I think Tim Curry becomes
94.
Tim Curry becomes more comical as he gets older.
Oh
though.
yeah, he actually played I remember he played Gomez Adams in one of those Adam Sandler movies they made after the good ones.
Oh yeah, he did.
He did. Yeah, he did. It was like this Adams Family reunion. That's what it was
Yeah,
called.
it was
a
really
TV.
bad.
It was a TV movie. It was.
It was garbage.
Yeah. Well, it's Raul Julia. Come on, man.
It was really bad.
Jesus, that's one of I love. That's another talking about movies I grew up with. Adams Family, which for years I thought were directed by Tim Burton.
It would have been cool if they had Tim Curry as Gomez and Christopher
Back
Lloyd.
then, yeah.
But like as when they had Christopher Lloyd as Uncle
which
Fester.
was great casting. Yeah.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, like they weren't in the same movie together, but
No.
they played characters in the same franchise.
Yeah.
That would
Yeah.
have been cool. It could have been like a Clue reunion kind of
Uh,
masked masked as an Addams Family reunion.
you know the thing about the movie Clue is we're just gonna talk about Clue the whole time. But the cool thing about it, if you look at let's about comedy, if you look at the actors in the movie at that time, they were all like top of their game
Yeah.
comedic performers.
Mhm.
Madeline Kahn's in that fucking movie.
Mhm.
Madeline Kahn was the Mel Brooks girl. She was in she was in History of the World. She was in fucking Young Frankenstein. She's in Blazing Saddles.
Mhm.
And she's Mrs. White in this, who's easily one of the funniest characters in the fucking movie.
Okay. Flames,
Flames
flames
on the side
on
of
the
my
side of my
face.
face,
Just fucking talk.
heaving, heaving breath, heaving.
Gonna talk about Clue the whole time. Gonna talk about Clue.
Welcome back to the Clue
And
Power
Martin
Hour.
Mull's in it.
Yes.
Martin Mull's in it. If anybody knows Gremlins 2, that's the only other movie I can name with Martin
No,
Mull.
he was in Jingle All the Way.
He wasn't. He was
the radio jockey.
I thought that was. Is that
He
him?
was the guy who was giving away the Turbo Man doll.
No, I don't think that's
yes,
him.
it was.
You sure?
I am positive. That was Colonel Mustard. Yes, it was.
Chris, fact check this.
Jesus Christ.
Don't believe
He
me.
was. He totally was. Anyway,
I gotta take a drink of water. Hold on. It's our
he was
recording.
definitely the guy from the radio station. Yes.
I thought that was somebody else.
No, you're incorrect.
All right, 2 points to fucking Gryffindor. Whatever.
Excuse me, Ravenclaw.
Oh,
Please.
What's your?
No, I'm not Slytherin. I look Slytherin, but I'm not. I'm way too intelligent for Slytherin.
Are you into Harry Potter at all?
No.
No, me neither.
I just know the names of the schools.
I do too. I watched the movies. I didn't even
Yeah.
see them all. I thought,
My first girlfriend made me watch them all in a row. Although she was,
Whoa,
otherwise she was never gonna have sex with me again.
it's like
So
we're gonna watch.
Yes, I'm watching all of these.
24 hours later.
Yeah,
That's a lot.
After can we fuck now? I'm tired. You're tired.
Yeah, it's a sleepy kiss.
There's some cool people in that movie, like cool
No,
characters.
I've seen them. I'll watch. You got monsters in a movie. Like there's always like some kind of weird. I love that stuff, so I'll go watch it. Like fantasy stuff always has some cool looking. They had the cave troll now. I thought was neat.
Yeah, that was cool.
You know,
I
and like I don't even. I remember going to Universal Studios and being like enamored with Harry Potter Land. Like
Mhm.
I don't know anything about it. I don't even like it, but it was
yeah,
just cool.
It's cool, yeah.
It's just cool. I'm like, I get why people are into this.
Yeah.
They're still fucking stupid.
yeah.
No,
I don't
I'm
even
kidding, I'm
think that.
kidding,
It's just
I'm
something
kidding.
I'm not into like the
High fantasy.
yeah. I like when there's a wizard in the movie. I don't like it when it's all about wizards. Is that weird? Like Lord of the Rings, there was only like 2 wizards.
Oh, okay. I understand now.
Yeah.
So you would like, I was like, I don't want it to be. All right. So there it is. That's literally a movie about being a wizard.
Yeah.
It's just wizards all the time. I can
Yeah,
understand.
it's too much wizard.
Well, there's
Wizards
also,
need to be special.
there's also like, I always believe, I think that franchise ran its course because everybody was like, because the Fantastic Beasts movie came out and everybody was like, it's awesome. And then the second movie came out and they were like, we hate this movie. And I was like, well, you're getting a third. So I don't know. I mean, you know, and the third one came out and people were like, this sucks too. I was like, maybe we're done with Harry Potter. We're like, maybe that's it. Like we like, I think we hang on to stuff a lot. I really do. I think that like, especially when it comes to
Our
movie.
generation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We never let we suffer from acute nostalgia.
Yeah. We do.
Definitely.
Which is why like
because everything now sucks.
things do
when-
suck now,
when
but
I-
stuff sucked for us back then.
No. Like when you. Oh, I'm gonna.
No,
put
no,
down.
this is
Take
my
this-
favorite stuff.
take
No,
this from me.
I'll take
Thank you. Okay. Because like we're comics, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're not just movie people. We're
This is what comics do in their off
yeah,
time.
yeah. This is what we do. Okay. So like we're early mid 30s.
You and I are about
right?
the same age. Yeah.
So I've been doing comedy for 10 years, and now there's a new generation of comics after me,
Yeah.
or like 24, and like I started when I was 24, and they talk about the old cartoons, like my gym partner's a monkey. I'm like,
Oh my God.
go fuck yourself, you know?
Well, I remember the cutoff for me is there's people that were like SpongeBob. And SpongeBob I was never into.
There are some good episodes of
I just never
SpongeBob.
watched it. I don't feel any I don't think it sucks.
SpongeBob came out in like late 90s, right?
Yeah, but I was like on like I discovered horror movies at that point,
Mm-hmm.
and like my stuff was all Rocco's Modern Life,
Yes.
Ren and Stimpy,
Uh-huh.
Rugrats, Salute Your
Doug.
Shorts, Doug. To a lesser extent, Doug. Doug was probably the most because Doug was the most earnest cartoon I ever watched.
Uh-huh.
it was really like, this is a story about a kid navigating his way, except
Yeah.
the people are purple.
What did you like more? Were you more Nickelodeon or Cartoon Network?
I didn't have,
Cartoon.
Cartoon Network until much later. So, like,
Okay.
that Dexter's Lab I wanted to watch Dexter's Lab so bad. I remember
Mhm.
begging my mom that I'm like, "Please, I wanna
Yeah.
watch more cartoons,"
My
but I
my
was Nickelodeon through and through for
my
years.
grandparents had Cartoon Network.
Ah,
Yeah,
my
so I was
grandparent
all Nickelodeon until, like, maybe, like 16, 15. Then I had to, like, catch up. I'm like, "This is what I've been missing this whole
Yeah.
time?"
When I did get Cartoon Network, I was like,
Yeah.
"Fuck." So
Like,
what ended up
and then
we
even, like, back then, like, 'cause, boys weren't supposed to watch the Powerpuff Girls, like, that was a
Powerpuff Girls ruled, I
I
watched
know,
it all the
I
time.
was very reluctant to get into it, then, like, you watch it again.
The superhero show.
Yeah, yeah, but it was, like, about little
Yeah.
girls. It was
They had the Rowdy
you know,
Rough
like
Boys at one point. The
yeah!
villains were good in that.
The villains were amazing
I
in
like
that.
Mojo Jojo and, what was
Him?
the lobster man?
Him.
Yeah, him. What
Yeah.
was his name?
Yeah, that was his name. His name was him.
What's his name, though? I was kidding. I'm trying to do fucking Abbott and Costello over here.
Oh,
I'm
Jesus.
sorry.
He was pretty much
That's him.
he
That
was
was
Tim
good, yeah.
Curry. He was Tim Curry.
Yeah, they had
He
Cow
was
and Chicken I really liked. I remember loving Cow and Chicken.
yeah, and the red guy?
Yeah, that
The
was
red guy made that show.
yeah, that was so funny. Like, that Cow and Chicken was like Ren and Stimpy to me. It was bonkers. It
Yeah.
was, like, a little extreme,
Yeah.
because that was the brilliance of Ren and Stimpy is it was fucking nuts.
Mhm.
They ever hear about their band episode?
Yeah.
The George Liquor episode where it's
Mhm.
just basically a racist American? Like
Yeah, there was a bunch of band episodes back in the day, like when, Chicken from Cow and Chicken, like, he smoked.
yeah,
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 they
that's
couldn't
right.
have that.
Yeah, as he smoked cigarettes. I had that. I remember that episode. Oh my god. Yeah, no, Nickelodeon though. I grew up with, and I can because it was that era is Guts. I wanted to be on Guts so bad. Do you ever want to be on the game shows?
I wanted to be on Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Oh my god.
Okay.
I would sit there.
Alright, I would watch that show with my friends back then, and we would always gamble on who would win, like, what team
We
would
watched it
win.
like it was football. We did. We picked it like
Did you
that's.
you
We would get
you
mad. We would yell at the screen because never put the fucking silver monkey together the right way.
yeah, it was very solemn, like, like, I always liked the purple parrots because I like birds, and they never win. Never
No.
won. Like, there's actually on the
Barracudas.
Wikipedia, you can look at the statistics of which team won the most.
Which one won the
I
most?
think it was the Red Jaguars
What? I
or
always
the
felt
Blue
like it was. I
Barracudas.
remember it was the Purple Parrots, the Red Jaguars.
Can we have
Can
Chris
we,
look it
Chris?
up?
Can you look up the stats? Can you look up the team stats?
Has this ep- has, has this,
This is slowly turning into my favorite episode.
has Chris ever worked this hard on an episode of this?
No, well, because nobody knows my stupid cartoon bullshit like you do. We grew up around the same time.
Chris, look at the statistics of freaking Legends of the Hidden Temple.
What's the stats for the Purple Parrots? What's their win-loss ratio?
Oh, gee, I'm gonna
That's
fucking
fucking
throw
funny.
up.
That's so funny. The most wins were?
I was right.
Okay, who had the
Yes.
least?
Purple Parrot.
A three-way tie for last? No one gave a shit about the orange iguanas.
No.
They never won.
Okay, they both lost.
So the Red Jaguars
equally suck.
So the Red Jaguars were the most, and then the Purple Parrots, which I felt won. Maybe it's because they had the nicest sounding name.
Is that who was the team that make it to the temple, or was it the team who just like won the temple?
That's season one. We gotta get stats for season two. Okay, here's the total. There we go. What's the total? Red Jaguars are 90.
They had that many.
They had 90 wins out of every episode. They won the most.
They had that many episodes.
Well, they had more technically because they didn't win every episode. Purple Parrots were the least. I wanted to be on that show so fucking bad.
What team would you want to be
Purple
on?
Parrots. I wanted to be. I don't know
you
why.
want to be a purple parrot?
I wanted to be like because I was like
Let's get purple parrots
or like
shirts.
orange iguanas, but they suck. So it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, your team sucks. I want to go into those shirts, but yeah, I wanted to be on that because I felt like, and if you go back and watch that shit now,
Mhm.
none of these kids are prepared to do it. Like you watch
No.
early episodes of Guts when they're like, we're gonna fucking strap you into this bungee thing, and you're gonna try to slam dunk, but also we're gonna shoot paintballs at you. You got it, kid? What? Go! Some fucking
What
mo.
was the name of the rock?
Oh, the aggro crack.
No, not no. I'm talking about Legend. I'm going back to Legend of Devil.
Oh, the Rock.
Omac.
Oh, it was. Oh, yeah, the guy that would talk to them.
Yeah.
Into the shrine
Of
of
the
the
silver
silver
monkey.
monkey. Yeah, it was Omac.
What the hell? What's that guy doing
Dude,
now?
I
The guy
remember
who
I
voiced
watched
Omac.
I watched somebody that like
Chris, find out where Omac's doing right
there's a YouTube video. We gotta get Omac.
We have a special guest. Omac
Hi.
from Legends of the Hidden Temple.
You tell that son of a bitch at Nickelodeon that I haven't talked to him since the 90s. And there's a reason for that.
All right, now you sound like the haunted tree of Adventureland.
There's a haunted tree in Adventureland?
You don't remember the haunted house in Adventureland?
Dude, I haven't been
That's-
there in so long.
Okay, never mind. Maybe my
We're on a
memory's
roll.
little bit better than yours. All right, you just derailed this. We were bonding, and now I don't know.
What? You had
I
clue?
don't think there is an us.
All right. Well, this episode of Millennial Stone is brought to you.
Okay.
No, I need friends. No, what was I saying? Yeah, all those cartoons and everything I grew up with, and then
Nick
this
Arcade.
Nick Arcade was the shit.
All right.
I'm convinced I could have dominated that show.
Me and a friend of mine watch old episodes of Nick Arcade, and they get to where they play the arcade cabinets,
Yeah, it's,
right?
yeah.
And he mispronounces one of the he says Robonick instead of Robotnik.
Right. Wait, he says the wrong name. It's Sonic.
Yeah,
That was a new game at the time too.
Yeah, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like they pick Sonic the Hedgehog, so he was giving the synopsis of the game. He's like, "All right, you must collect rings to fight the evil Robonick."
That game was new too. So they're like, "Oh man, the marketing's all fucked up now." God, you remember
Robonick?
You remember Wild and Crazy Kids?
Yes.
Old Mark Goody.
And Johnny Deathrow, right?
Yeah,
Something like
that was a weird show because it was like summer camp, but it was technically it was a game show.
Mhm.
But it was like they were at like camp. I don't remember. Like I remember that at one. I remember they had a game where you had to shoplift. That was like one of the games. They were like teaching the kids how to steal. And they're like, if
don't
you get
remember
marked on the
that.
hand, that means you got caught by the police. And I'm like, you're teaching these kids how to shoplift.
That's hilarious.
And then of course there's the always favorite Salute Your Shorts. I loved that show.
I love Salute Your Shorts too. I think that was your favorite Salute Your Shorts.
That I watched that show so much. Like the Zeke the Plumber episode is like to me like as good as a lot of horror movies that came out of the 80s.
Yeah. That was a
What was that, Chris? Klaus from American Dad?
That's Omac?
Get the fuck out of here. That's like a completely higher register. What's the name of the voice actor? Who? Dude, that dude does voices for Batman.
What the fuck? Omac.
Yeah.
Everything's connected.
Everything is connected. This is a simulation. Simulation. Anyway.
My favorite, shocker here, my favorite of the live action shows from Nickelodeon was Are You Afraid of the Dark?
That was a good
great
show.
one,
I
yeah.
loved that show
There were
too.
some legitimately scary episodes on that.
No, there's an episode nobody remembers it. There was one where the kid. Remember he got the job. There was a reoccurring characters on that show. Do you remember
Yeah.
there was like the weird.
The scientist guy.
There was a guy who I could only describe him as John Lovitz looking, but he was always like a sort of a
He was like, oh,
snake oil salesman.
yeah,
Like he always owned
that's
like
sawdough. No, Mr. Accent on the dough.
yeah, sawdough. That was what it was. Yeah. They had a couple. One of the episodes I remember is there was
And
a
they had
kid.
the crazy weird guy with the crazy hair.
Yeah, he was always
He's like, I am not a nutbag.
I'm not a nutbag. They had an episode where the kid was in the mall, and that guy owned the shop,
The pinball wizard.
and the pinball, and he got
yeah,
stuck.
that
and
was
the-
a great
that-
episode. I think that was a two-parter.
No, that was a one part
Was
because
it?
it ends with him in the pinball machine. Like, remember it's Sardo looking over? It's like I
But
told
I
you.
remember that was a really epic episode.
Yeah, it was. The other one was you remember the two-part one about the pirate treasure?
yes.
Yeah,
okay.
that was like
Yeah,
huge to
that-
me.
They were both in it.
Yeah.
Both those recurring
yeah,
characters.
and then there was the best one about the guy, the hand. Remember the hand in the jar?
the hand. Yeah.
They get picked up by the cabbie, and then they
Yeah.
realize that it's him the whole
You might
time.
say, I sort of died.
Yeah, that's right. And they're driving in the cab. He's answering riddles, and you're like, "What the fuck?" As a kid,
Mhm.
I'm like, "That's the scariest thing I've ever seen." And there's the other one about the little boy who couldn't find the jacket, and he was just like, "I'm cold."
Yeah,
And he was
that's
this little blue
scary.
boy, and he was like,
Yeah.
"Give me the jacket." It ended like because you figure out that was a sad episode. You figure out that he
Yeah.
froze to death because his father didn't love him enough or some shit.
It's fucking scary.
It's fucking
dude.
scary. Then they gave him
Yeah.
the jacket, which was stuffed in a tree. Yeah, Are You Afraid of the Dark was the shit. That was like the Nick at Night stuff they would do.
Mhm.
Dude, I'll tread down fucking Nickelodeon shit all day. I don't care. Dude, I'll quote theme songs, which are, like, I'm trying to remember any shows that like never really took off. Salute Your Shorts was really good because, it was just, It was,
Shows that
oh,
never.
Hey Dude.
Yeah, I
Here's
was
one
gonna
that
say.
never took off for
I was
me.
I was gonna say, Hey Dude. Hey Dude was weird.
Hey Dude was they're earnestly trying to make like a series.
Yeah.
But even that show, I'm like, there was only one episode I remember of that show. They had a Native American character. I think his name was Danny. And the whole
Sounds authentic.
yeah, I know. The two things I remember from that show is they had a hockey mask with a snake through the eyes, which I was like, oh, it's that's Jason Goes to Hell because that movie had just come out.
Okay.
But the other one was an episode where they were trying to get people to invest in the land or some shit, or not abandon the land, his tribe. So the way that they got these these Native Americans to stay was they did all I can only describe like Looney Tunes esque things where they're like the flowers are dying, and then someone would pull a cord and be like the flowers would wilt, and like but like instantly in front of them, and he'd be like, look even the flowers have given up, you have to do something, like the spirit of the land. And I'm like, this is far-fetched even for me. That's the one episode of that show I remember that
Yeah,
they did like Looney Tunes-esque things to make it seem like the land was literally dying.
yeah, I never really got into it, but you know which one I did like, which also wasn't very popular, was Space Rangers.
See, I don't remember that one. This is
Yeah,
not.
you
That's,
don't remember that
I'll be
one.
honest with you. This is the second time someone's brought this up to me, and
Okay.
I have trouble remembering it.
It
Can you
was
just
like it was kids from each planet in our solar system, by the way,
like
saying that
Mars and Venus and
yeah,
shit?
like in like Jupiter, there was a kid from Jupiter. There's civilizations on these planets, and they just
Amazing.
lived on a space station, and they were like attending school or something like that. It was like an academy for like
This had to only last like a season.
yeah, it wasn't that good.
There's a couple shows like that. I remember I got into the show that was like, I don't know how to describe it, but it was a superhero show, and the lead guy was a luchador wrestler, and it was a live action show, and it used to be on Fox. I got real, and I remember it because I remember pointing out the fact that there was like aliens that came in to invade, and I realized that they had just spray painted Super Soakers silver. And those were the alien guns. And I was like, fucking high production value. Because I recognized like the bubbles, the way that they look. I had
Yeah.
Super Soakers. And I
Yeah.
was like, oh, those are Super Soakers. So I was like, this is a really shittily made show.
Yeah,
But that only lasted
yeah.
a season. I
Yeah,
can't think of
that's
any.
one I don't really remember at all.
I don't remember the name of it, but I remember it was like a fucking This was like, this was a Fox show. This was like Fox Kids show.
Oh,
This is going, all right. So I jumped ahead a little bit. Did you ever do WB, like after, like WB Kids?
yeah, like Animaniacs and
Yeah.
things like that.
Animaniacs. Loved
Yeah.
that.
That
hour.
was good.
It was-
Remember the Beetlejuice cartoon?
yes. I have that on DVD.
I do too.
I have it on DVD because it's the
Did
greatest.
you get like a convention or something?
Yeah,
I got
originally
mine-
I got. They didn't have it.
We're the only two assholes.
No,
who
we
bought it.
assholes. And like this always happens. Why don't buy fucking DVDs anymore? I used to be. You used to live at cons. I used to be such a. I still am like a collector.
Because you think this is the only place you can get this?
well, some of these shows don't fucking. It's true. Like
Back
they don't.
then they didn't.
they
The
don't-
box sets didn't exist.
No, box sets didn't really exist
Right.
unless it was like Bonanza.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like we didn't know if that was. I didn't know if that personally. I didn't know if I'd ever see any of these TV shows
Right.
again.
I saw. I have a box set for Beetlejuice, the animated series. I have it for
I do too.
Rocco's Modern Life.
I have
and
Rocco's Modern
Are
Life.
You Afraid of the Dark?
So the Are You Afraid of the Dark? They released that one, and I just fucking bought it.
Okay.
They released that. The Rocco's Modern Life I have a boot of.
Okay.
Ren and Stimpy was one that I actually had the first season,
Oh.
and because it ended with that one was the only one at the time you could only get that lost episode on it. It ended with that George Liquor episode where Ren beats the shit out of him with an oar. That's how that episode ends. He gets fed up. They get adopted by this guy, and he's just this fucking piece of shit, like George Liquor, American. And it's just like he beat, and then finally Ren just snaps and beats the shit out of him with an oar.
He snapped a lot. in
Oh, he
that.
was a psychopath.
Yeah, it was like somewhat scary
It-
sometimes.
It was, but also at the same time, like it was also like a bit of a commentary on the fact that, like, as I watched, did you watch like any like Looney Tunes shit?
Yeah.
Like, I watched a lot of Tom and Jerry.
Okay.
Tom would get fucked up.
Oh yeah.
Tom would get fucked up. Excuse me, sorry. Tom would get fucked up all the fucking time. Like I remember that, but they would do things in Tom and Jerry that freaked me out. There was something where, there was an episode where there was an experimental mouse that escaped from a lab, and on the radio, they were saying the mouse is actually explosive. Don't. This is a fucking plot. I can't believe I just thought of this right now because I was like, that can't be true. It's 100% true. Okay, so so
Explosive.
Tom's listening to the radio, and the mouse. They're like, this mouse has escaped from a lab. It's like a little white field mouse, like a
Okay.
lab mouse, and they're like, it's explosive. Don't touch it. And like, Jerry befriends the mouse, and while it's Ren, it's kind of a way of keeping Tom away from him, like because he doesn't want
Mm.
to explode, so he won't hit as long as he's. And then finally on the radio, he hears that it's a false report. The mouse will
Oh.
not explode. So like
Uh,
Tom takes a fucking frying pan and goes to hit the thing, hit the mouse, and the mouse fucking explodes. And the creepiest things happens afterwards. Like there's all the rubble of the house
yeah.
and the radio's still going, and the radio just goes, remember, I'd like to repeat. The white mouse will not explode. And then Tom comes out of the rubble and in the weirdest voice, and he's all fucked up looking. He just goes, don't
Yeah.
you believe it? And
Yeah.
then it ends.
Mhm.
And I remember thinking, I'm like,
That
that's
became like a meme, I think.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that I remember thinking like that image is so terrifying to me. And that
Yeah.
voice is so scary. And it's as a kid show. And like Ren and Stimpy, I always thought kind of played into that a little bit. That kind of they would do weird shit like that every once in a while on
You know, I just like Tom and Jerry was like one of those cartoons where like Tom was trying to get the mouse, right? And he like I get the dynamic, like it's a cat and a
well
mouse.
back in the 30s, it was a new concept.
Yeah, but like a cats and mice, that's the thing.
Yeah,
But
cat
you
mouse.
know what one I never really understood?
What's that?
Foghorn Leghorn, who
My,
I loved.
my dad
What
loved
yeah,
Foghorn.
with the
Loves. He's
with the
still alive.
dog, like, the dog was not doing the
The
dog was just
Basset Hound.
whatever he was. He
He
didn't
was like a brown and white dog,
yeah,
right?
he was like he was a white dog with, like, brown ears, right?
Yeah.
And this Fog he would just bother him. And, like, Foghorn Leghorn is the main character.
Yeah, it's fine. Was
Like,
the
he
chicken
just
hawk?
he just goes up there and just, like, starts, like, annoying the dog.
Yeah.
Like, why? Like, why?
He just fucks with the dog.
Like,
Well,
like Elmer Fudd's a hunter. He wants to get because he wants to eat him, right?
yeah, yeah. Well,
Like,
or like, no, actually, you find out in the
oh, he's a
oh, I'm
vegetarian.
sorry,
I did-
folks. I'm a vegetarian. I just hunt for the sport of it.
yeah, but like it's a sport. Still, hunting is a sport. There's a motive,
yeah.
right? Foghorn Leghorn literally is just a dick.
That was the picture they painted of him, though. He was just supposed to be an asshole rooster. He was allowed. There's an episode where I think it's the chicken hawk. The little brown
Yeah.
chicken hawk.
Yeah,
He's like he's got the voice like this. Yeah, he sounds like
Yeah.
Joe Pesci.
yeah,
Um, he fucking goes. His grandfather. He's out hunting with his grandfather, right? And he goes like the grandfather goes to like catch Foghorn Leghorn. Foghorn Leghorn like
Uh.
embarrasses him. He slaps him across the face and shit. Like kicks him in the ass, but he does it in the Foghorn Leghorn way.
mhm.
It's like, good son. You get out of here. You're like, nice boy doesn't listen to a word you're saying like that. And the grandfather's falling on the ground, and then the chicken hawk just like, was that a chicken? Because he's never seen it. He's a newborn. He's never
Yeah.
seen a chicken before.
Right.
And he goes, was that a chicken? He goes, oh, that's no chicken. That's nothing but a loudmouth schnook. So for the rest of the episode, he won't hunt him,
Yeah.
and it's driving Foghorn Leghorn crazy. He goes, I'm a chicken. He goes, no, you're not. You're a loudmouth schnook. And the whole time, he's just convinced. It's just really funny to me. I don't know, but like they painted the picture as the
Yeah.
fact that he's just a jerk.
Yeah.
He's actually
it's
just kind
fucking
of a jerk.
Yeah,
Yes.
he just is a jerk. But
You
he was
know?
my favorite. I don't know why.
He's because the stuff he says is
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Like go and like he was insulting them. He was doing the southern insults to people. He would let them look at him.
All
It's like
about shop is a sack of wet mass.
more about shop is a sack of wet mass.
Yeah.
Nice boy, but doesn't listen to a word you said. Goes one in there, out the other. I tell you, that's
The
right.
when Trump and Fauci were like going back and forth during the pandemic.
Yeah.
I always thought it was like Trump was Foghorn Leghorn and,
Oh, yeah.
and Fauci was the little nerdy hen with the big ass glasses.
Oh,
always
God.
wanted to do science.
Yeah. I forgot about that one. The chicken little guy.
Yeah, especially when Trump was making fun of Fauci for the horrible pitch in the baseball game. Remember that?
You're no good, son.
Yeah, you ever see a baseball before? you know what I'm talking about, Chris?
Because he keeps going. It's like
Son about
you gotta keep your eye on the ball, son. Ball, ball. That's a joke, son. It's like, yeah, this guy sucks. That's what it is. It's just like,
Louis by the Bulls never played baseball before.
yeah, you're right though. Like it's very man. I'd watch Foghorn Leghorn.
Foghorn's great.
Oh man, he was just an asshole. I'm trying to think of any like there was.
Like even like Wiley Coyote, he wanted to eat.
Yeah,
the
it was
Roadrunner.
motive.
There was
It was
motive.
motive. Yeah,
There was literally no motive. For
that was the thing. He was just a jerk.
Yeah.
That's why you always. But that's why none of the episodes ever ended with Foghorn Leghorn kind of on top. They always ended up with him like
You know what I never understood about Yosemite Sam?
one of my favorite characters.
Yeah, like they always like put him in like weird So,
other scenarios where
yeah,
he'd be like,
he was
not
he was randomly like assaulting.
my favorite,
You'd be like, why?
my favorite character of his is when he was a Hessian.
Yeah.
And he just goes, Bugs Bunny, because the dynamic between like Yosemite Sam and Bugs Bunny may be actually better for me than him and Elmer Fudd, because just the way that they would react, that they would have the characters react to each other is hilarious to me. But he was a Hessian, and he just goes, Bugs Bunny's like, "Who are you?" He goes, "Who am I? I'm Sam von Schmam the Hessian." And then he was like a legionnaire at one point,
Yeah, he
and
was
then
a pirate.
he goes, "Who are you? I'm Riff Raff Sam, the riffiest riff that ever riffed a raft."
Yeah.
And you're like, "This is
He did
hilarious."
all these different characters.
Yeah, it was. He was
Like
always the quintessential bad guy.
Elmer Fudd maybe have done like one or two.
I always thought, just for the record, just to go back to Chevy, I always thought, because Looney Tunes is very much ingrained in Hollywood, especially at that time.
Mhm.
I always thought the point of Sam was that he was your go-to villain.
You thought Sam was
Like
the
he was a
main-
commentary on the Hollywood system, where it was like a
Oh.
lot of the same guys played those characters. That's
Yeah,
what it is. They
definitely.
played your villain guy. You'd have your villain actor. That's what they did back. I always thought that was kind of a nod to that.
Oh.
I watch a lot of shit.
There was one episode, I think it was much later on, where they had. Forget what the name of the episode was. It was like these alien carrots.
Oh, the planet Nerdnik. They're replacing everybody, and it's like robot versions of them.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
episode scared me.
So that was put in theaters. I think I was shown before Gremlins 2.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I had such a hard time finding this episode.
No, it's
was like
made on the planet Nerdnik,
Okay.
and you find out that all of his friends have been replaced by
Yeah, and then the weird carrots were
it's a
showing up.
comic. It's a great fucking cartoon. It's like a Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like Bugs slowly, he has that. There's like a lot of really weird sort of scared pictures of bugs and everything like that, and he ends
Yeah.
up stopping it, I think.
Yeah.
You know, but
It was
like
really strange.
was it the Dodo aliens that were behind it?
No, I don't.
Was it Marvin?
I don't remember. Like,
Marvin's a great character too.
Yeah,
Where's the kaboom?
That's my favorite.
There's supposed to be an
An
earth-shattering kaboom.
Oh, that makes me so angry.
Yeah, he was great.
He's great. I used to have a little He was my favorite because he the Illudium 36 explosive space modulator. He was my favorite because of just how he looked. To me, that was like the coolest
Yeah.
design.
Yeah, he was. He
had a little
he
figure
had
of
like
his,
a Spartan helmet.
Yeah, but he had a tutu,
Yeah.
and he was red, but he wore Jordans, which was a good look.
Yeah.
Head of their he was a spaceman, so we got to travel forward in time, get Air Jordans, and wear them as an alien. That's how good Marvin the Martian was.
Nice.
But yeah, all that, all the Looney Tunes things. That's another reason, going all the way back to Nickelodeon. They showed that all the time on there. They had
Mhm.
the Looney Tune hours. That's why I was always a Nickelodeon guy.
I even like Tiny Toons.
Tiny Toons was the shit.
Yeah.
I remember thinking that was a big deal when Steven Spielberg presents Tiny Toons. Steven Spielberg presents Freakazoid. Steven Spielberg, he had this animation studio.
I wasn't a big fan of Freakazoid.
I loved Freakazoid.
I couldn't get into it.
Really? Too
I
wacky?
didn't like his rogue gallery. I don't know, that's weird saying.
I didn't
the
care.
Freakazoid rogue gallery.
No, the
not
Freakazoid-
that impressive.
The Freakazoid character himself.
He was cool.
There's an episode I remember where he gets sucked into a video game, and it's what's his name? It's the bad guy's it's Khan. Fantasy Island guy.
I can't remember.
You know,
But regardless,
yeah.
what
But
I'm
like,
saying
I
is,
remember
like,
that he was in. Like, I
Freakazoid-
remember they were like it was. They were like that was a weird show too.
Yeah.
Like it was a commentary on like a lot of stuff. There's a great gag at the end though, where there's the clueless police commissioner, and he goes to Freakazoid. He's like, "There's one thing I'm still not sure about Freakazoid." And he goes, "What's that, Chief?" And he goes, "In the movie Congo, how do you tell apart
Yeah.
what's a real monkey and who's wearing a monkey suit?" Oh, we gotta go. And the movie ends with them watching the movie Congo and him going, "That's a monkey." He's like, "No, that's a guy in a suit." He's like, "Well, that's a guy in a suit." "No, that's a monkey." Like,
And that is how you bring it back to Tim Curry.
yeah, exactly.
We went full circle, ladies and
That's how you
gentlemen.
bring it back to Tim
Yes.
Curry.
Anyway, so I started comedy about 10 years ago.
I did. Well, we got on a tangent, but I did want to.
Tangent?
No,
How long have we been going on this tangent?
20 minutes, man.
20
Dude, I'm always,
that's not a tangent.
dude, I'm always afraid. Because I'm always afraid that I have nothing to talk about, and then all of a sudden you're like,
yeah.
you like Nickelodeon, and I'm like, I fucking love Nickelodeon. So
This we veered.
that's why it's called Millennial Stoner,
Oh,
because that's how
I'm
these
not
guys.
stoned.
Oh, well, I mean, you want to hit me with my pen?
I don't know if I'm allowed.
Okay.
We'll talk about that towards the end
Later.
of the episode.
But this is what I was talking about this before we started recording. Of one of the reasons I do this is because I know a lot of really like cool, interesting comedians that are different, and I couldn't get any of them, so you're here today. But like,
Uh, uh,
no, I'm kidding. But you have one of the most unique. I remember the first time I met you was at where's that place? Butera used to have an open mic there. The Country Corner.
okay, yeah.
Yeah, I remember I saw you and you did the routine with the death cards and
Okay.
everything, and I was like, and I laughed. I thought, this guy's really funny, and I've never seen. And I remember I felt bad because I had to go to work early the next day, and I remember I was like, hey man, I went up to you, I'm like, hey man, I just really liked your stuff, and you're like, thanks man, and you looked me dead in the eyes and you go, where you going? And I go, I'm going home. He's like, you're not going to hang out, and I go, no, I have to work at 6 a.m. He goes, all right, and then you went inside, and I'm like.
He's banned.
He hates me. God damn it, he hates me. Like for the longest time after that, I was like, Rocco hates me. Like,
Oh no,
no, it's not you. It was me. But
was
you've
I
got such
drinking?
like an interesting look, dude. Like it's like, like
It's like the
did you?
what?
No, I was saying like, did you start like?
Okay.
Did this an evolved look? Like where? Like
It is
take
an
me on a
evolved
journey.
look. It is an evolved look.
Okay.
Okay. It was always all black, right?
Yeah.
And then I think my first time on stage, I wore a blazer. It might,
Like
you know what? It might have actually been like blazer with a green undershirt, like slacks.
okay.
All right. Yeah,
Like I dress up to do comedy
ca-
type
yeah.
shit. Okay.
Then I'm like, you know what? I want to try to be a little bit more unique. So then my trench coat, which I did wear
Yeah.
on the regular. I
Yeah.
was just like, I liked my coat, so I wore it on stage. Then I incorporated like my cross and everything.
Yeah.
Then I had a backwards hat. Then I'm like, I'm getting a lot of Silent Bob
Yeah, I can
comments,
see
right?
that. I've seen
So
you with the
then,
backwards hat before,
yeah.
with the
And
full getup.
then I started wearing started wearing the bandanas, kind of. There might have was I wearing a Kangol before that too?
Like,
Like a beret, kind of like not like a beret, but
the newsy hat,
kind of, yeah,
like the
one of those.
forward one. Okay,
Yeah,
because
but
it brays
I
off
would
to the
wear it
side.
backwards.
Oh yeah, I've
Yeah.
seen it. That's like a '90s look. Like I've always wanted to be able to pull that look off. Triple
Mhm.
H pulled that look off really well in wrestling. But yeah,
Yeah.
I could so. But you settled on
Yeah,
the
well,
bandana.
the things with the bandanas is like it's hard for me to go hat shopping because I have a pretty
You have a big head.
yeah, I have a big
Yeah,
head.
okay.
So this bandanas I can just make it any size I want. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's pretty
So
much.
then I incorporated gloves,
Yeah,
like fingerless gloves. Then I started wearing like black steel toe boots and
you're perfecting
yeah,
like Tony Stark making the armor.
yeah, yeah, kind of, yeah.
Like,
And then I started wearing the eyeliner, and now the final piece of the ensemble is my cross, my skull cross, which the people of McGuire's, the waitstaff at McGuire's, found it in the showroom, and they saved it for me.
really?
Yeah,
Shout out McGuire's. Actually,
yeah.
shout out McGuire's in general. They're always the staff there is always great.
So like every time when I'm performing now, I always wear that.
Oh,
It's
look,
just
that's like you're lucky. That's cool, man.
I wouldn't call it lucky, but it's like it's cool because it was just I do have certain things that
You do.
people from comedy have given me besides prayer cards. The cross is one of them. I have a shirt that a fan gave me,
Yeah.
which was pretty cool. I I bumped into this guy in Patchogue Village while I was at sorry, excuse me, Brickhouse Brewery. I was just having a drink, right? And it's like, oh my god, I saw you at the Firehouse fundraiser. I'm like, yeah, yeah. He's like, yo, follow me to my car. I want you to have this. Like, it's a shirt. He has a T-shirt.
Follow me to my car. I promise something will happen.
Yeah, he has a T-shirt company. He wanted me to have.
He made you a shirt?
He had the shirts. He's like, pick out a shirt. I want you to have one. And he had one black one. It was. I don't know if you ever seen it. Like it's the one with the green shark on the side right here.
Yeah. I know what you're
Yeah,
talking about.
yeah.
Yeah.
He only had it in a large though, and at the point, I was pushing a 2XL, so I lost the weight, and now the shirt fits.
Aw.
Yeah,
So you used to be heavier.
I used to weigh 250 pounds, dude.
250 pounds?
Yeah, I went down to 170. Now I'm back to 200. So
You're
I'm
not
still
250.
50 down from my from my heaviest.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I made the mistake of weighing myself the other day,
Okay.
and I just don't remember when I started weighing 200 pounds, but I definitely
Well,
am
how
200
tall
pounds.
are you?
I'm 6'1", like
Yeah, but I'm
6'1".
5'8". There's a big difference.
That's fair. Fair. Yeah.
Yeah. 5'8" at 250 pounds is like a bowling ball.
I know, but I don't want to be. I know, but I don't want to be the tall guy with the gut.
There comes a point like if we Sean Sullivan.
Of him.
Yeah,
I don't.
like
I don't think he
he's
formally
a
met.
big dude. Like
Yeah.
even Billy, who's been on the
Oh, he's
episodes.
called
Like,
Billy Barrel Chested. Like he's always like, I'm
yeah, but
fat.
like
I'm like,
he,
you're like,
yeah,
if this was the '80s, you're
because
like
Billy's
professional
tall.
wrestling
Like,
tape.
no, but Billy's tall.
Billy is tall. Yeah.
So like when you hit a certain height, I don't see. Oh, there's a big fat guy. No, that's a big dude. He's just big. He's just a big dude.
Yeah.
Like you can get away with being big.
Yeah.
Like I can't.
Yeah. Okay. I understand what
And
you're saying.
guys like me, guys like Fat Jay, guys like Mike Keegan, like our height,
Yeah.
we can't. Like we need to be somewhat.
If you ever see any of those guys on a
like,
poster, check him out.
If Fat Jay was like 6'5",
He ruined his whole act at this point, though.
I know.
He could never lose the weight. Like,
But like when I see Fat Jay, like yeah, because he's short. He's my height. Yeah, he's
yeah,
fat.
but yeah, you
But
guys are the same height.
If he was like 6'5", I wouldn't see him as a fat guy. You know what I'm saying?
You're probably right. He
Yeah.
would just be like, he's a big dude.
He's a big dude.
Yeah, I was like, he's not fat. That's actually how I describe Billy. I always say, I'm like, he's not really fat. He's just a big guy.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like I used to bartend in the most local bar in Sag Harbor, and like all the day workers, they all basically look like Billy.
Mhm.
They're not really fat. They're just
big.
they're beer
They're
big. You know what I
Vikings.
mean?
They're Vikings.
Like a wrestler from the '80s or the '70s. You know what I mean? They're big dudes. You know.
Mhm.
But yeah, I guess. All right, you're right. All right, I'll stop complaining about.
So- Yeah, I'm not fat. I'm just
you don't
too
look
short.
You don't look fat. Though. I remember you told me you gained weight. I'm like, it's
Yeah,
because at that point I see you pretty
Yeah,
regularly. So
I've gained 30 pounds since my lightest, like over the pandemic. Like when the pandemic started, I was probably like 185.
you gained weight over the pandemic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like everybody did. I feel like everybody
Yeah.
just came out fatter.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
just like I remember at a certain point, like I had made like 5 sandwiches in one day.
What was on these sandwiches?
Oh, they were all different kinds, man. I made a chicken cutlet sandwich. I had like because we had gotten like it was me and my sister, my parents, and they had gotten like this ridiculous amount of food. So there'd be stuff in there that I'm like, why do we have this? Like, why do we have 3 things of vodka sauce? So I was like, I'm gonna make chicken parm. I made chicken parm. I would get up at like I would get up at like 8 because I was like I didn't want to waste the day. That was my whole thing. I'm like I'm gonna do something. Like the idea is I'm gonna do something. So one day I woke up and I made like a bacon, egg, and cheese, and then like 2 hours later, because it was like all I would do was like smoke weed. Is I would be like I'm hungry. I'm gonna go downstairs. I got that vodka sauce. I'm gonna make a chicken parm with vodka sauce, and I would do that. And then after that, I would make homemade Philly cheesesteaks because there was just nothing else to do. Ate that all in one day. I wanted to fucking die.
Sounds amazing.
It was so good. I made a fucking Thanksgiving sandwich to top it all off at the end.
Thanksgiving
The-
sandwiches.
The best sandwich.
It's a very good sandwich.
Oh no, we can't talk about sandwiches. We gotta talk about you, man.
7-Eleven made a pretty okay Thanksgiving sandwich, like a Thanksgiving sub. The cheese wasn't that good though. Everything else was great.
Cheese? I don't think I ever get cheese on a Thanksgiving sandwich.
Yeah,
I usually
don't
just-
know why they put cheese on
Why
it.
you need it?
Yeah.
You got the fucking gravy on that shit.
Yeah, cheese and gravy.
Doesn't go together.
No.
Well, this podcast's
Back
over.
to me.
This
We're
pod-
veering again.
I'm disgusted by cheese and gravy. Podcast over.
Okay, so yeah,
So when you started?
yeah,
What was like? Because your material is kind of like hilariously dark. Was it? Was your first joke that dark? I mean, not tell me what it is.
I did a lot of jokes.
Where'd your
about-
style come from?
when I first started, I was talking a lot about like food and like because I was heavy.
Yeah,
and,
yeah,
I
yeah.
talked about Denny's and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Ironically, I'm starting to bring back the Denny's shit. Just what I used to talk about. Maybe dating and like
Yeah,
how
dating.
it's
Everybody
hard
talks
for
about
me to
dating.
like find a girlfriend, stuff like that.
You're still dating. You still do dating jokes now.
Yeah.
And I don't mean. Sorry, that sounded bad.
But
I do dating
like,
jokes.
I talked about like if I watched I did a lot of like observational humor about shows and
Yeah.
stuff like that. I was taught like you need to talk more about yourself,
Yeah. So I'm
So,
starting to do that now.
yeah.
Even me.
Probably the first time I did the prayer card bit.
Yeah.
Like it was probably like the first time like people recognized me, and then like I became known as the prayer card guy.
It's a
It's
good
like
bit.
okay, let me start talking more about death.
Yeah.
And then it just became then my act evolved and the outfit evolved and I became like synonymous with death.
I mean, to this point, it got to a point we did a roast. And I remember thinking by the end of it, I'm like, I literally think they killed the school shooter joke for you.
Yeah.
I think they killed that joke because I remember I remember everybody went up. I can't remember if I did, maybe I did, but I remember
Yeah,
everyone
yeah.
else
At this point, it's like
'cause I was sitting next to you the whole time.
it's been done to
Yeah,
death.
and
Yeah, you know what I
I'm
mean?
like, "Sexy pirate's better at this point, man. Like, let's do pirate
Yeah,
jokes." Like,
see, with me, since it's so unique, but it's so generic at the same time.
yeah, but it's
Because
also
it could be the pirate, it can be the
it can
homeless guy,
it can be anything.
it can be a gypsy, it can be the school shooter, it could be the Grim Reaper, it can be a lot of different things. It's like
Black
it's
goes with
yeah,
everything.
but
That's what he's saying.
here's the thing, like an evolutionary chart, like I'm the common ancestor of like all these things. You know, they all descend from me.
Yes. I am
I'm the
all.
goth guy.
Yeah.
I'm
You are the goth guy, but you're also like
the
I
pirate.
but you're also like the metal guy too because I
Yeah, I
have
can be
metal
the
I'm
metal
in the heavy
guy.
metal and I know guys that dress like that,
Right.
you know? And it's like it is everything. Wow. So you just kind of like that's cool. Yeah.
It's painfully generic,
But I also
but
recognize
painfully
you immediately though.
exactly.
I recognize you. I know if you're in the building before anybody else does. Most people are like, "Who the fuck is that?" And I'm like, "That's Rocco." Like
It's raining over the building. Like, oh, Rocco's in there.
all of a sudden a lightning bolt.
There are some people that still think that I made up the Rocco thing. No, Rocco is my middle name.
Is Rocco really your middle name?
Yes, you thought I made it up?
No, no, no. I thought it was. I didn't think you made it up. I thought it was I thought it was a nickname that was just given to you when you were a
No,
kid.
it's my actual middle name.
That's awesome.
Like Rocco's not in quotes or anything like that. It's
It is
My-
on the open mic for the governor's thing.
is it
I think it's in quotes on the governor's poster. I think it's Steve Rocco.
really?
Yeah, I think it might be. I feel like I've definitely seen that in parentheses.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's true. Some people have done it.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think.
but I never knew that was your
No,
actual.
it's my actual middle name.
That's fucking man. That's a cool middle
Like,
name though.
First of all, who would nickname me Rocco?
It's
I am. McNeely was busting my balls yesterday. He's like, you're a Rocco. Like I'm a Juan.
He has the same name as my Aunt Terry. I don't know what to say. It's like,
That's
you
true.
have a unisex name.
Yeah, like Terry. Your name's Terry.
Yeah. We call him Uncle Terry. There's also, except when the lights go out, then he's Aunt Terry. No, I'm kidding. He's gonna fucking kill me.
It's hilarious. Don't worry, he's not watching this.
No, I know. But yeah, no, I never knew that, dude. That's really cool.
I mean, it's all right.
No, it's
Like,
cool.
it's just something I always had. So it's like,
I don't know. I never had. My middle name's George. I'm not going by Joseph George.
Chris, did you know that?
No, but judging by the fucking goose laugh he's making in the back right now.
I don't think he knew that.
No, my middle name's George.
Your
Never
fucking
knew that?
middle
I don't
name's
care.
George?
Most people do. My
What
middle name's
the
George.
Fuck type of middle name is
Joseph George Winchell does not sound like a comedian. Joseph George Winchell
sounds like someone from like
sounds like a Civil War fucking
Yeah,
guy. Like, sounds like the unknown soldier. Like I was with the 37th Battalion. We died out there on Bull Run Hill.
to my dearest Peggy.
To my dearest Peggy. Times have been tough here, and General Longstreet is making his long endured trek up the hill. I fear.
General John George Winchell the third.
Sincerely, General Joseph George Winchell the third.
So,
That's what I mean.
You
I have a
do-
I have a general name. That's why. But Joe Winchell sounds like it's easier to roll.
Winchell is a cool. You know why Winchell is a cool?
Why?
Because you're combining Winston and Churchill.
Yeah.
That's such a cool.
So
Winston
was it you
Churchill.
that thought my actual last name was Churchill?
No, I said it drunk.
Somebody
accidentally.
somebody did think.
I called you Churchill.
Yeah, but
Accidentally.
that's not the first time it's been said to me. A lot of times people are like Churchill, and I'm like Winchell. Is it's Welsh? I think the name's Welsh, or it's
Ah.
Scottish or Welsh. I can't remember which one it was.
You know,
No, it's Scottish. No, I'm sorry.
No,
It's
I
Welsh.
wasn't drunk. I was high when I called you Churchill. I called you Churchill at the pot show.
Oh yeah, that's
I'm like,
right.
Churchill. I'm like, I'm sorry. Why?
That's right, you went up for your set.
I interrupted your set, my set, saying that like we arguing over like
And I
what the
stood
best
there
commercial is.
because you called me, and I was going to the food truck real quick,
And
and I
then-
turned, and I was like, yeah, and you were like, your name's not Churchill, and you derailed yourself.
yeah,
It's so
I
funny.
complete
Though.
derailment.
That was a fun ass show.
Yeah.
That was a fun ass show, man. I wanted to ask you, like, so because of your stuff, like, what are your influences, man? Like, what's the guys that you watched?
You know what's really funny?
Is it like Stephen Wright, or is that
No.
too
I'm actually not a big comedy nerd.
Okay.
Surprisingly enough, like I didn't watch a lot of stand up before I did stand up. I knew like the household names. I knew
You like Carlin?
not even
Okay, what was his household name?
for what
Well, no, for the era,
Yeah, for my
probably
era, not
no, not
really.
really. I mean, like he's one of the guys, like,
Yeah,
but
he's
like for
yeah,
the generation that
or
we grew up with,
yeah,
yeah.
like Gaffigan.
Gaffigan, that's more.
Gaffigan
Yeah,
was
that's
Lewis
more.
Black. I
Louis
liked.
Black, I saw a bunch actually as
Yeah,
a kid.
John Panette. I really liked.
John Panette, I knew he was the impression guy, right?
No, John Panette. He was kind of like he talked a lot about food and
Oh
everything like
yeah,
that.
Now I remember. Yeah,
Yeah,
he was on Comedy
but
Central Presents.
yes, he did. He had that. But my favorite comedian is Jeremy Hotz. I don't know if you know
I
who
don't think I
that
know
is.
who Jeremy
Now,
Hotz
he
is.
had a Comedy Central Presents. He's got a few specials. He's very I don't know how you would describe him. He's very self-deprecating. He's very
No,
I
aren't we
do
all?
share some of his mannerisms,
Okay.
just like the like like that, like doing that little
Yeah,
chuckles and
I've
stuff
seen you
like
do that.
that.
Yes.
Like sometimes I'll even like put my hand on my head, like he does that too.
Yeah.
Our material's like nothing alike.
Okay.
But sometimes when you like
So it's better.
when you watch your comedians, you emulate them
I think we all do.
sometimes.
I do.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew when I first started doing it. I think I knew no matter how hard I was going to fight it, I was going to get a Dennis Leary comparison, and then
Uh-huh.
I met Terry McNeely, and I'm like, now I get Terry McNeely
Yeah.
comparisons. That's what it is.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
I've actually started, as I haven't seen it in Mike, so I've actually started to slow my shit down a lot. Like I've
Mhm.
started to like I've just because that's me too. Like that. I am a little slower. I just happen. I also, but I have. I'm like, what is the line from fucking Chris Farley? I'm like JoJo, the idiot monkey boy, the pretty new pet. Sometimes I understand that because I get really excited, but
Yeah.
then I'm
Yeah, I
mainly,
get that. Like, I have to learn how to sometimes slow it down myself.
yeah.
Like, I start being like, oh yeah, like, yo, like
Do
that.
get
Like, I
excited, but
get, but
also,
like, and I realize that's a contradictory of my character.
yeah,
Like last night, I was able to slow it down a little bit. I started off slow. I'm like, because Rob White was in there too.
yeah.
He was in the audience, right?
Shout out Rob.
And they gave him a guest spot while he was in the audience. He was just sitting in the audience, right?
Where was this at?
The Giggle Room last night.
Fucking giggle.
Yeah, so Rob White sat up
Fuck, I
front
almost went to that.
because he just came to watch the show, and Fat Jay just brings him up. He doesn't know what's going on, but he's gonna be really shocked. Please welcome Rob White, and he's like, "Oh, okay." Like,
Rob is probably one of the best guys to pull out of a crowd to do
yeah,
comedy. Like,
yeah.
like, if you're gonna have one guy, God, I love that guy. I've
And,
been going to a bunch of
and
mics with him
Terry
lately.
gave me a guest spot too, and I just
Terry's
like
good like that.
Rob, cool man, good to see you.
Yeah.
I got arrested on Monday. Then he goes, and then he's like, he's thinking like this is a bit.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I'm going into it. I'm like, oh, he's not joking.
It's just the look on his face, like,
Yeah, it
oh,
changed.
oh,
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, my first joke was about
You got arrested?
I got arrested. I got arrested, and I got to talk about why
Okay, all right.
I got arrested.
He didn't kill anybody.
I didn't kill
Let's
anybody.
let's say what
I
he
didn't
wasn't.
kill
I'll tell
anybody.
you what he wasn't arrested for:
Yeah,
killing people and molestation. He was not arrested for
no
any of those
rape,
things.
No rape, no arson,
Yeah,
no storming the Capitol.
yeah. Let's just so you don't have to. We don't want people to.
Let's play Guess Who.
So no murder. Remember, no murder, no kids. Okay.
Yeah, none of that. Okay.
But go ahead.
No robbing, no Grand Theft Auto, nothing. Okay. So okay. So, well, I'll give you a clue. I've been attending some meetings. That's a clue. And I attended an AA meeting.
Ah.
Okay.
Okay.
And literally,
I have attended an AA meeting as well.
I also
I've been.
received a letter.
I also. God damn it! Anyway, episode over.
Goes back to
You
clue.
call that wrapping the joke around, baby? Go
right.
ahead. Go ahead.
My
I'm sorry.
first AA
Fuck
meeting, right? My first AA meeting. I swear to God, someone recognizes me from McGuire's. He was
Okay,
in
I
the
believe
audience.
you. Yeah.
But I'm like, fuck, this is supposed to be anonymous.
I remember when I had to do something. I got arrested years ago, and I won't say for what, but I'll tell you what it wasn't for. Well, all the things that he just said.
Okay.
But I remember having to do something like that, and just watching the different people that I was in there with,
Mhm.
because it was like one of every person in there. There was the young person, there was the old person, there was the mom,
Mhm.
there was the dad, there was the aunt, and trust me, there's a difference between what an aunt and a mom looks like. There was every kind of person in there, and it was crazy to watch
Yeah.
it. And I remember there was one girl that we had to assign seats, and I had to sit next to this one girl, and she had really long nails, and all she did was eat candy. She was like ghetto hot.
Yeah, because sometimes, man, when you drink it, then like, you can't drink anymore. Like sometimes, like I don't. To be fair, I don't consider myself an alcoholic.
Okay,
I do.
that sounds like I don't believe you. I'm
No,
agreeing with your statement.
I'm a binge drinker though.
Yeah, I understand that.
I will admit that, which is still a form of alcohol abuse.
It's where you go through
And
long periods where you don't drink, and
yes,
then you'll
when you do, you
yeah,
party
that's
hard.
what it is because you it's
Yes.
I think I
And
don't know. Yeah, you're right.
I
Yeah,
ne it is still a form of alcohol abuse, and
yeah,
I'm learning this
mm,
now in the meetings,
yeah.
and I like, wow, I never really realized that, and it opened up my eyes.
Well,
So
it's true. I mean, I remember when I got 25. I had to go, and I remember making a conscious effort to like I'm gonna pay attention to this, and being like, because number one, I wanted it to be over because obviously like
mhm,
it was a mistake. I feel
yeah,
bad, but like again, there's that awful voice in the back of my head
mhm,
where I'm like, almost got away with it, like
yeah. I
like
got away with it too if it had been for you men and policemen.
I wanted to say that so
Yeah,
bad. It's like
yeah.
I was like 10 minutes from home when I got arrested.
I will say that the people, the troopers that took me in, they were very cool. Very,
Yo, actually, when I got arrested by troopers as well.
mhm.
They were really cool to the point where they made
Were
a
you wait? This was before you did comedy, right?
this was before I
I,
did this is when I was
okay,
when I was acting.
because when they actually where I'm coming from, I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, on Monday nights I host an open mic comedy night. I'm a comedian. And, oh,
Would they
you're a
would they
comedian?
ask you for a spot?
No, no, they were asking me for a spot.
Hey, I've been thinking about trying comedy actually.
Can I do some time? I'm like, I think I'm about to do some time
It
in the
depends
cell. No,
depends on what you're gonna do for me, I guess.
no. Um, and it's like, do you ever play a governors? I'm like, yeah, I was there all weekend actually.
Yeah.
Like, so they bring me to the police station, and they're all asking me things like, well, this didn't happen, but in the bit, because I'm gonna eventually talk about this
It's a
on
good bit,
stage. Yeah, and it's gonna be later in the act where people like me. You shouldn't open up your act by saying I just got arrested
No,
for
no.
I got
S
DWI.
Some people
Right.
think that's shocking.
Yeah,
It's
right. In the bit though, I'm gonna say like they're going through my pockets. They did search my
Yeah,
pockets
they do,
or
they say
anything,
they have to.
but I'm just imagining. Thank God I don't have my prayer cards on me. Can you imagine? Can you imagine what the me having to
A
explain?
stack of dead people cards.
Can you imagine?
It's like a scene out of what the
Yeah.
fuck?
Can
And I
you
start looking in the depths.
Can you?
Didn't friends give you those? That's my point.
Officer,
Start
those
looking
aren't
into all these
mine.
deaths to see if they're suspicious.
Yeah.
Like a serial killer, he collects things.
Yeah. I'm so grateful that
With
I
like the
didn't
one
have
night you don't have. Most people are like, "Thank God it wasn't the night I was on coke. I had no coke on me." You're like, "Thank God it wasn't the night
Yeah.
I didn't have my prayer cards on me."
Yeah. They would have been. That's suspicious.
I'm not gonna lie,
Yeah.
especially
That would have been a
forgive me
first
for saying this,
them.
but with how you dress and everything,
Yeah.
I would have been like, "Oh." I mean, we got to at least.
we caught the roadside reaper.
Holy crap! I think this guy's been hanging around at Gilgo Beach, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. I'm so grateful I didn't have
That's
any.
good. That's
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah,
That's
like
yeah,
I'm
that's
gonna have
good.
to. That's
I
the
like that.
ultimate callback.
That's a good
of like
callback.
me
Yeah.
doing the funeral card bit, and then just talking
That
about.
yeah, that's
Can
great.
you should have seen the look on the cop's face. What are these people? Can you explain
Because
these?
you have to ask questions at that point.
Yeah.
Like again, like I'm not saying to get arrested, but
Yeah.
sir,
And,
sir, please,
yeah,
like
I had eyeliner on too. I had the whole outfit on.
oh
Yeah.
man, you want to hear
The only thing I didn't have on was my necklace.
the one that's a knife?
Yeah, thank God too. I didn't
Oh
have
yeah,
that
they
on
would
me.
have gotten
I
you
mean,
for that.
that's legal. It's
That's
only
a pen knife. That's legal. Yeah,
but still. But
it
if
has
they
to
said,
be this
but
big.
They did ask me, do you have any needles or knives on you? I would have said like my necklace has a little thing on it. I would have been honest with them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I didn't have it on me.
yeah. You actually you want to hear this is crazy. When I was before I actually got I got a DWI too when I was 25.
Mm.
But before that, I remember right before that. No, it was after this. It was after this. I was driving up to Dave and Buster's with a couple of my friends, and none of us knew that my friend was dealing drugs at the time.
Oh,
So when we got pulled over, there was beer in the car, and they smelled weed because we were smoking weed.
okay.
And they were like, "This is in hindsight. Like at the time, this was terrifying, but in like the setup for this was really funny because we had weed on us, and it was just a dime bag. Now you just admit that you have the dime bag of weed because it's just a ticket. That's all it is.
Right.
It's just a ticket. So my friend was in the front seat.
But if they catch you and like, you didn't tell them, it's
Yeah,
in
and then they're gonna
yeah.
you just say, "Hey, I
Yeah.
have it," because all they can do is
Yeah.
take it away from you and give you a ticket.
Ironically enough, I hung out with my ex-girlfriend on the Friday before, right? And she had a joint, right? She was smoking in the car, and she put the joint, like, in between like the windshield and the dashboard,
Yeah,
like the
yeah,
little
yeah.
crevice, like she put it there. I didn't know she put it there.
Yeah.
When I go get my car the next day, I see it there. I'm like, well, thank God that they didn't see that either.
Yeah.
And first of all, I didn't smoke any of it that
Yeah,
day.
yeah, yeah.
But that night, Trinice, have you ever met Trinice, my black ex girlfriend? You've heard
Uh,
stories. You've heard
yes,
stories.
I think
All
I
right.
have a while ago.
She got very belligerent at the club
Okay.
on the Friday, and she ended up leaving. Like she ended up storming out and everything. Like she was out of her fucking mind. So a lot of the comics that were at the club were saying like there might have been something in that joint.
Oh, like some like angel dust.
Something. Because they said that she was tweaking. I don't.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I
And
mean,
so, like, if they found that, right?
I'm just happy you didn't smoke it.
No,
Like,
I didn't.
like if you were
I
like,
didn't smoke any
yeah,
of it.
I'm
No,
just
no,
happy
no.
you were like, oh, sweet.
No.
Like,
No. I didn't want to. I was driving. I didn't
yeah,
want
yeah.
to smoke.
No, I agree. I agree.
You know,
Yeah.
because ironically enough, I am a responsible driver. You know, apparently, according to the people of New York, I'm not. But
Responsible driver so far.
yes, yeah, you know what I mean.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
You know, like I had the opportunity to smoke a joint and I didn't.
Well,
But,
yeah.
but like, I'm saying, like, thank God they didn't find it. Because if they took that and they were going to see what was in, there could have been something in there. I don't know.
I remember my buddy forced me to go to a rave once, and I was there, like the techno show. Like I don't know, the Bananas in Pajamas were playing. That's what was told to me.
Mhm.
And I was like, all right. He made me go. He was like seeing his now wife. Like this was early on. He was like, you have to go with me. And I'm like, I don't want to go to a fucking rave. I don't like techno music. And he made me go anyway. And I was like, I didn't have a whole lot of money on me, but he was like, we'll find drugs. And I said, okay, cool. And he goes, there's a dude who's like really right next to us. He just starts lighting up a huge blunt. And I was like, yo, can I? And he goes, yeah. And I'm like, awesome. And I'm like watching this insanity happening in front of me. And I'm like, I fucking hate this. Like, it's loud.
Yeah.
Everybody's dancing. Everybody's sweaty. And like the club drugs get like, if you're not on club drugs and everyone else is around you, it's
Yeah.
fucking upsetting.
Mhm.
Like, and it's like,
Well,
I
that's
don't
the
want,
way I sometimes feel with drinking. Like since I haven't had a drink since Monday,
yeah.
and like now, like I've been to the club a few times now, and people are drunk. It's like now I'm getting annoyed. Oh,
Yeah.
the people are getting.
That's the
drunk,
first
you
thing.
know?
And I'm like, as someone who's, just to finish my little thing,
I'm having tea now at the club.
teetotaler.
I have like a cup of tea, and everyone's making fun of me. And
Actual tea?
tea.
Do you
Yeah.
bring your own tea bags with
No,
you?
they
Yeah.
have tea there.
They have tea
The
there?
bartender was just like, tea? Like he's like, I'm like, yeah. And apparently it's
Everybody's always so upset when you decide to make a healthy choice and stop drinking.
yeah.
It's always
Like,
weird.
and I'm trying to make a healthy decision.
I know.
But I
do.
didn't realize how much of a pain in the ass it is for them to get tea because they have the hot water is all the way in the kitchen, which is in the back of the club. Then they have to walk it all the way to the bar.
Yeah.
And then they have to like get the honey and the lemons and everything. It's like a to do. I didn't realize it's a pain
Oh,
in
so
the-
you just felt bad because it was like a whole thing.
I didn't realize the tea was that it's one letter. Oh, it's
Tea. I don't think it was complicated. It's one letter. Water's so much more letters.
Yeah.
That's funny. But just a side, I was telling you a story about how, yeah, I get what you mean about the, because when I was at that techno show, the guy, after I smoked that thing, that guy walked away, and I was like, oh, that's weird. And then, like, I felt not high. I felt like weirder. I looked at my buddy and I was like, we have to get the fuck out of here because I think that was angel dust. Like something's off right now.
Mm.
I've accidentally done more drugs than I can wrap my
You've
brain around.
accidentally done.
Yeah, I've done meth before. I've talked about this.
Okay.
I think I talked about it on your podcast actually on the Rocco and Travis show.
Yeah, our podcast is the Rocco and Travis Hour. We're available on Spotify and
So,
Apple Podcasts.
But I think we're gonna have to wrap up. Yeah, we got to wrap up.
I
Chris?
just want to say I want to add one more thing.
Okay, no, go ahead.
I want to.
You want to finish your story? Actually,
Yeah, this the story that
go ahead.
that when
Got
I'm
2
at the
minutes.
precinct. I'm
Yeah.
at the precinct, right? And the cops are because now they know that I'm a comedian. They ask me what type of do you have any tattoos? I'm like, I have a tattoo of Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh.
That's
I'm like-
amazing. That's
and
right.
they laugh, So we're having like they're not giving me a hard time.
No, the
So
cops
at
were
the
cool with
end-
me
at-
too when I got
Yeah,
arrested.
at the time they're just like hey, but you got some new material out tonight, right?
They always have to say
Yeah,
something like
hey,
that.
I'm like, well, I would be writing it down, but my hands are behind my back.
I remember I was out of
Oh, and I will give a shout out to because they didn't want to bring me in. They said if you can have a friend come down, we'll release you to your friend.
That-
The only person that picked up the phone,
oh.
Dom Lamarca.
Dom's a good dude, man.
Yeah. But
Shout out Dom, and I
yeah,
want to say why. Is like every
Dom
time I met
LaMarca
that
came to
guy,
the precinct and picked me up,
yeah,
and at first, like, I'm calling Dom. I'm like, why am I calling Dom
because he's
LaMarca?
the only one.
Yeah, but like, at
It's
mid
always
dial, like, I'm like, I shouldn't be because he's
you
probably
find out. You find out who you can trust with that phone call.
yeah.
You find out.
But
Yeah.
I'm saying to myself, Dom's probably stoned off his ass right now. So like he's gonna show up to the
He's
precinct,
like, "What's up,
and
man?"
it's gonna be like he's turning himself in.
He looks like if every stoner movie was a person.
He, me,
Like,
and, me, and me and Dom look like low budget Jay and Silent Bob.
yeah, that's a.
That
Oh
like
my God, you do.
yeah, we do.
Holy shit.
He's got the long blonde hair.
He
With
even
the
wears
beanie.
the skull cap lately,
Yeah.
and I'm like, "What's the snoochie boochies, bro?" He's like,
Yeah,
"Dude, but
so it's like, oh, look, Jay's coming to pick up Silent Bob.
what's up, lunchbox?"
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember the guy that picked me up was my friend. I'll give him a shout out because I love him. My friend Rob, who lived the closest. I called my best friend. I called my second best friend, and I realized that Rob went up in my friendship after that
Yeah.
because he showed up. But I was like, because they said, hey, if you. They didn't want to put me in jail either. They were like, because they were being really cool to me too, and they're like, hey, if you get a friend, come down and pick you up. We'll let you go tonight. We're not going to bring you over to fucking. Because I was in Riverhead.
Yeah.
And they're like, I don't want to go to jail tonight. And I'm just like, yes. And I remember he picked up on the first fucking ring. And my heart, like if there could
I'll
have
be
been
right there.
if there could have been fireworks that shot out of my brain at that point, it was like I can at least get home because I can deal with this now. I don't have to stay in prison or jail. But like he shows up and I remember the policeman. I was sitting there like this. I was like they were cool to me, and I was just like sad. And the policeman goes, your ride's here," and I'm like, "Oh, sweet," and he goes, "Yeah, some chick." And I go, "What?" Because I had just gotten out of a bad relationship at the time, and I was like,
Oh.
"No, how did she know I was here?" He goes, "I'm just
Nice.
kidding. It's some blonde guy," and it was my friend Rob. So
That's hilarious.
I appreciate you, Rob. Do you have anything you need to plug, Rocco?
I will say that I just got accepted into last comics standing.
Oh shit, really?
The contest.
And is that in the city?
No, it's Mohegan Sun.
Oh
That
shit,
one.
at the Roadhouse.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's awesome, dude. Is that
I don't know how I'm gonna get there, but
Well-
no, actually, Travis Grant said he would bring me.
I was gonna say I love that place. I'd drive you up
You
there.
would?
Yeah.
Maybe we can all go. We'll make a day out of it.
I don't care for Travis. Anyway,
You
no, I'm
don't?
kidding. I like Travis a lot.
Yeah, what the fuck,
I think
man?
I think Travis is hilarious. Travis
maybe-
calls me figured out my nickname that I had in high school.
George
No, fuck you. No, he called me Winch.
Winch.
That was and I was like,
That's funny.
I'm like, it's so weird. You say something about high school nickname is Winch.
Hilarious.
Do I
Yeah,
have
that'd
any?
be cool. We can make a day out of it.
When is it?
June 12th is my day.
Oh yeah, I
It's
think I can do
Sunday.
that.
Yeah.
What was that? Just a video submission?
Yeah, we submitted the videos, and now the June 12th is my contest day.
Okay, all right,
Yeah.
all right, cool. Yeah, I might be able to do that. I think so.
That'd be cool.
What day of the week is that?
Sunday.
No one cares about this. Anyway, Sunday. All right. Maybe I'll look into it.
All right, cool.
Let me do. You have any
This is
plugs
like-
for shows?
Aside from that, tomorrow I'm.
If you're in Connecticut though,
Yeah,
June 12th,
yeah.
please come and support.
Yes, thank you. Tomorrow is Mother's Day. I am
Tomorrow's-
doing the Dead Mothers show at Alibi Speakeasy in
Ah.
Farmingdale. Which, by the way, my mom is alive.
there's
I'm
others-
headlining this show. I was asked to headline the show because I am the Grim Reaper.
Yeah, you are the.
Everyone else on the show, his mother is unfortunately no longer with us, and I'm pretty sure my mom is going to kill me when she finds out about what happened. I'm waiting till after Mother's Day to tell my mom what happened.
Yeah, it took me a while to do it. I was like nervous, and like I'll never forget how fucking cool about it. You know what the weird part about it was?
I think the longer you wait, the cooler they are. I
No,
bet.
the weird part about it was when I told people, like, this was the response. They were like, "Hey, man, I know more people with them than without them," and I'm like,
Yeah.
"Is that good?
Yeah.
Like, is that a
It's-
good response?" Like, that's when I was like,
It's
"I need to
hilarious.
change some shit about my life. Like,
I need new friends.
I need new friends, new family. I need to get out of this town." Anyway, any more plugs besides? I'm sorry, we keep getting off track.
Okay. Let's see. I'm sorry, guys.
And by the way, of course, I
on
drug
May
you.
13th, I will be appearing at the Hempstead Courthouse.
Please come down and support.
It's 9 o'clock in the
I don't know how
morning.
much time I'm doing. They're not going to tell me until I get there.
Carla Okerson is my opener.
Shout out Carla for
No,
fucking.
May 14th, I will be at Theater 3 in Port Jeff, along with Travis Grant, who we mentioned before. That's an
Oh,
8
so
o'clock show.
Travis is fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
He actually.
That's with the Long Island Comedy Festival. There's a comedy club in the basement of the theater. That's what we'll be.
It's always in the basement.
It's actually a pretty cool room. I remember the first time I did.
Yeah, I know that place.
Yeah.
I know some of the people who work there.
Mhm.
I'm friendly with their stage manager. She's really, really awesome.
Very good.
If you ever meet a woman named Melissa, there, she's a stage manager. Say Joe Winchell says hello.
Okay.
She's an awesome person. All right, so I will be with Terry McNeely, a Fat J and Billy Geyer in Walton, New York on the 13th of May, and then the 14th we're going to be in Oliphant, Pennsylvania. And then I am coming to McGuire's on June 20th. I think it's the 8 o'clock show. And then June 9th, I'm going to be at, where am I going to be? Stereo Garden. I'm going to be at Stereo Garden June 9th. Fat J's hosting that one. It's a really great lineup. Rob White's on that. Caroline Fung. Emily's on that one. And then May 28th, I'm also going to be at Bellport Brewing Company, 8 p.m. show. So please come on down. That's a great little place. So come on down, guys.
I heard the last show was off the hook.
Oh, I heard some. We'll talk for a minute.
You couldn't get in.
Yeah, well, they had.
It was closed.
We're out of time.
We're out of time.
Yo, guys, thanks for tuning in. Like, share, and subscribe, everything. Please like the videos if you like them. I've had a couple of my guests being like they want more likes. So if you like the video, it would be gratefully appreciated. Subscribe to the page and share with your friends. My name is Joe Winchell. My guest has been Steve Rocco Parrillo. Thanks for coming on, man.
No problem. This was a lot of fun.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. I gotta have you.
Maybe we can do a podcast of we just only talk about nostalgia stuff.
I've talked about that at great extent with a couple of people.
We would totally do it. That would be great.
Call it Old Crap. Old Crap, the podcast.
I would call it like Retro Junkies or something like that.
That's actually, well, that's better. See, I was trying to be, I wasn't being funny on that one.
Oh.
All right, man. Well, like I said, like, share, and subscribe, guys. Talk to you later.
All right. Thank you, guys.